Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to film a flip through of my planner that I've been using for 2024 and hopefully what I will still be using in 2025, a new one obviously because this one is a 2024 planner, but I'm hoping that Catherine from Sterling Ink comes out with the same one for 2025. So I'm currently in the N1 full year horizontal, basically Hobonichi Weeks style setup. You'll see it when we get into the weeklies. And I'm in my Vanderspec. This is a complete Nomad, not the special Nomad, in Alizen Touch Me Leather. I did ask for extreme texture, and Petra never fails to deliver for me. This does have the A4 clasp and square corners, and I did take the strings out so I could use it basically as a codex to cover my N1 full year. But as you can see, I've decorated and decked it out. All kinds of tabs. I'll tell you where everything's from as we go. But let's just get started. So I've marked off anything that was sensitive information I've covered with a white sticky note, I hope. So hopefully there's nothing that I have to hide. I do decorate the pockets a little bit, not a ton. This If Found card is from Sticky Monster Co., now Stylish and Minimal Co. This is a clear card from Cloth and Paper that has a ruler on the end, and I just use it to hold page flags, because I do use, you'll see a lot of page flags in my planner. This is something I bought from Joann Fabrics. It's like an applique, and I just cut it and stuck it to a clear piece of acetate to fill in the pockets. This card is from Stylish and Minimal Co. It has my initial on it. I changed the chiffon ribbon just so it matched the planner. I can't remember where I got this little page marker from. It may be Color Cafe. I'll have to look that up. And then this is from May Paper Co. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's like an embossed, my husband bought me a stamp for my birthday that says my name from the library of, so I just embossed that page. And then this sticker is from Redbubble. Peonies are my favorite flower. So as you can see, it's the N1H full year. What I do at the very front with this year at a glance, let me just sit down here, is so this is my color coding key. These are the colors that I use in my actual monthly and weekly, but then these are the colors that I use in this front page. So this one marks if I took a personal day, a sick day. This is menstrual cycle days, and then days that I have to take medication. Sometimes I have to take medication every week or every other week, so I like to keep track of it. And I've just marked off all of those things in this front year at a glance. This page is kind of like a landing board or a dashboard for all of my sticky notes. So these are things that I need to bring to work with me. I'm a teacher and it's summer, so I don't have to bring these things with me until I go back to school, but you'll see them throughout my weeklies. Every time one is full, I just leave it where it landed. And if it's not full, I move it from week to week. So these are the things that I need to bring with me when I go back in September. I'm so sad Papery Planning is closing. These are the colors that I used for her custom script stickers and the titles that I had for them. So I just placed a big order that should be coming any day now from her before she closed. So I made sure that I had these, and then once they're gone, I'll have to change sticker shops. These are things that I need to order for my planner, and then anything I need to add to my planner. I don't use the goals page either. I don't really track goals. So I use this as a landing pad for my sticky notes. These are typically inside my weeklies, but like I said, because I'm out of work right now because it's summertime, these three things won't happen until September, so they just sit here. And then I have some grid sticky notes in case I need them. And then what I use these pages for are future planning. I know a lot of people use them for habit trackers. I don't really track habits. I used to track my migraines, but since I'm on new medication, I don't get migraines as frequently as I used to. So over here, I keep track of any sick days that I've had. And like I had COVID in February, but I placed the 2024 sticker or calendar stickers from Sterling Ink in these spaces at the top. And then when I'm in that month, I place one of these circle stickers on top of the calendar. And I use this for future planning. So I fill all of this out first before I fill out my monthlies. I don't fill out my monthly until like the week before the month happens in case any of this changes. So I'd rather make corrections here than in my monthly. So whenever I have a date that has more than one thing where I have to migrate some of it down here, I'll highlight it with one of these highlighters. They say Alohaster. They're from, I think I got that pack on Amazon. It was actually like an 8-pack, but I only use these 2 colors. So that was for January, February, and March. And as you can see, I mark with pencil. I block off when we have like a longer break from work. Sick days and personal days for the second quarter of the year. This is my future planning for the second quarter of the year. Again, this is how I mark off when we have big blocks of time that we are out. We're in July now, and as you can see, it's a lot less full because, like I said, I'm out of work since I'm a teacher, so there's not as much to fill in, except this is the week of appointments for us this week. And then this is for the end of the year. And then we get into my monthlies. So these stickers are from Paper Replanning, and these tabs that I use are from Stylish and Minimal Co. I use those dots, like I showed you the color coordinating key at the front, from Paper Replanning. And then this is how I fill out my monthly. So it's December, January, and I also have the tabs on the side for the months. February, March, April, May, June, and July. So if something changes after I've already done my monthly, I won't change it on the monthly. Unless I wrote a time in wrong, I might white it out. But I will just change it in my weekly. I live mostly in my weeklies in my planner. So I use these Midori index tabs. The first one marks the current month in the future planning. The second one marks the monthly. The third one's for my weekly. The fourth one is where I am in my health log for my daughter. I'll show you that when we get there. And the last one is where I am in my commonplace book. So none of the rest of the months are filled out. Like I said, I only fill it out the week before the month starts, and we're still in July, so these are not completed. So when we get to the weeklies, I've designated the weekly section with one of these tabs, but then also I have washi taped in, or tipped in as people say, a piece of acetate that I cut down to size and used one of those roller adhesives from Scotch to put some lace on the edge. I love how all this lace peeking out looks in my planner. So these are how I do my weeklies. I use these custom script stickers, like I said already, from Paper Replanning when I have a meeting, no school, sick day, personal day. There's one more. Oh, and if something is canceled. But then I also designate the days with those colored dots. And then over on the right side, I use the sticker that says to-do list. I create my to-do list and then check everything off as I go. So it stays pretty much the same. I did make a mistake here, so I don't know if you can notice, but I had to cut this page off from, I had a weekly booklet. I cut it out and taped it on so that it wouldn't be noticeable. So when I had COVID, I marked it off with a pencil, and then I used my label maker to put COVID isolation on this page flag. And then that was the last day of it for me. Here's one of those sticky notes like I was talking about that shows you throughout the month, I was writing down what I needed to bring to school, and then I was just checking it off. And when it's completely full, I just leave it on the page where it landed. Here, it was diversity week at school, and we had to wear different colors depending on the day. So I marked that off again with a pencil. And then these are little dots that I have from Paper Replanning. These are from the Planner Spot. They are, let me see if I have them handy. I have them in my Delphonics pouch over here. These are, what are they called? Washi transparent thin strips, but they're washi tape. So I have them in two colors. I have them in the blush and in the nude. And if I need to have a list that's not a to-do list, or I want to make a note more visible to myself, I'll use a piece of that, and it's the exact length, the exact width of what I would need to fill that part of the page. This was something that my dermatologist recommended to me, so I wrote that down at the bottom. Spring break, again, I used my label maker and a page flag. But nothing has worked better for me in terms of planning than this layout. So I'm really hoping that she comes out with the N1H in a full year again. It is by far my favorite planner that I've ever used. I was a rings girl forever, and I like the flexibility of that, but I am a paper snob and I like to use my fountain pens. So Tomoe River paper is the way for me to go, and as long as she comes out with the same one for 2025, I will be buying it. So these are days that my daughter did not have school. Very busy week there. Again, marked this off. This was a day that we had like a superintendent conference day, but they called it a wellness day for us at school, so I kept track of the schedule for that day. Again, here was another sticky note of things that I needed to bring to work with me, fundraisers that I had to pay. I gave a presentation at one of our school clubs, so I wrote a little list of things that I needed to remember to bring with me. It was to our bibliotex club, and I did a presentation on commonplacing and explaining what they were, and I gave each kid, what are they called? A preppy fountain pen. So they love that. So I was the department chair for the English department this year, so these were questions that I had from my one meeting. This was, I believe, the busiest week that we had for the school year. So if you see these arrows, it means that I didn't get this item completed this week. I had to migrate it to the next week. And if you see an X, it means that I decided I didn't need to do that item anymore. My credit card was compromised, and I needed to change our credit card number with all of these companies. That was quite a pain in the butt. Spirit Week started here on Friday and went through the end of this week. Excuse me. So I marked off what we had to dress as for each of those spirit days. And then it was our Regents Week. I teach in New York, so we have New York State Regents exams. Things that I need to replenish. I needed to buy, not only bring to school. See, like here, I didn't need to print our boarding passes. We just used our, what's that called? My Apple Wallet for the boarding passes. We were in Turks and Caicos last week. That was our vacation. So I did not have a big to-do list. I did not bring my planner with me. I was too afraid I would ruin it. I do use these Jacques Herbon blotting papers. I think I have 3 of them in my planner at different points because I do write with a fountain pen, and if I have to close it quickly, I want to be able to put it in there. See, but here's how I use page flags every week. Whenever there's trash day, I put this down. Like some weeks it's on Thursday, some weeks it's on Friday, so I like to keep track. Yeah, I guess I can leave it there. See, but like for next week, I pay bills every other week, so I have that there. So then the rest of my weeklies are not filled out, so we can go to this section, which is finances. So I've already covered up all of my payroll, my paydays, how much they were, and what I paid childcare. But this is how I keep track. So I use a stamp and one of the Versamagic chalk, the color dot pads, to mark paydays and childcare. And these were all of our scheduled paydays. I wrote down how much we got paid, how much I paid our babysitter. These are the dates for 2025. These are the dates for the school year that begins in September. Next is, I don't really care if you see how much I've spent on things. This is my how I keep track of online orders that are specifically just stationery. So I put the date of the order, the shop I ordered from, the items that I ordered, and the amount. And then I check off if it shipped and if I received it. And then if you notice, I use these Spotlight page flags from Cloth and Paper. And I used little icon stickers from Papery Planning. There's a little piggy bank to show paydays. This one is for online shopping. I kept another page because I know I'll need another page for orders. This is for sales when I sell planners. So I write the date that I sold it. I've sold all of them on Facebook. I used to do eBay, but I haven't anymore. In Mercari, the fees seem to be astronomical, so I haven't done that either. But the items that I'm selling and how much I've sold them for, if the person paid, if I shipped it, and if they received it. And then I guess this is fine to show because the trip is over, so it's okay if you see flight numbers and things like that. So the only one I can't show is this very last one because we haven't gone there yet. So this is for travel. So we've got a little airplane. I had booked a room near the airport the night before our flight. So it was our flight out of JFK, our flight landing in Turks and Caicos, and then our flight back from Turks and Caicos. And then I just have a piece of washi tape at the bottom. This is the schedule for my cleaning lady. So a nice little Windex bottle there. And then we get into, I left some pages blank if I have more lists, but I put a calendar sticker here and I started future planning for 2025 because I already have some dates from our school calendar and then other appointments that I've had to make pretty far in advance. So I just divided the page in half, which is easy because the page already has a dot at the top in the middle. And then I use these washi stickers from Sterling Ink for the number days and the weekdays for each month. And these are stickers from Papery Planning. And then I just went ahead and made it basically the same as what's in the front. But in the front, there are 3 columns. I made it so there's only 2 months on each page. So that's it for 2025 future planning. So I'll be able to migrate that over to my new planner when I get it for December. So I've covered this because it's my current school passwords, but I do have passwords that I need for work here. I also keep just this brain dump sticky note that I printed onto a cloth and paper sticky note. These are the paper test designs. All of the sticky notes I have in this planner that I've printed on are from Paper Test Designs. So I keep track of what the percentage is of each section of our New York State Regents exam, and then how much each marking period, midterm, and final counts for the kids. If they ask me, I have it handy and I can answer them. So I'm going to skip over a list of passwords and go to, this is a health log. Again, I've marked it with a piece of acetate that I've tipped in and some lace from Joann Fabrics. So I've covered up this sticky note information about my daughter's heart surgery and her surgeon and things like that. But this is her health log. So I mark it off with a little heart sticker, and then I just write all of her appointments. These were all for her heart surgery. So if I needed to do something, I marked it with that highlighter. And I just keep track of all of her appointments here. And then I left room in case I had more to write or any other list that popped up. But then the rest of my book is my commonplace book. So I've tipped in acetate, and I love these little appliques and the lace. But I've been keeping track. These are only the books that I've read this year. I do read more in the summer than I do during the school year, so I've already crushed 2 books. But this probably will fill up before the end of the summer. But I put the title and author of the book that I'm reading, and then the main topics that I've commonplaced about. I use this pen for commonplacing. It's the Pilot Custom 823 in fine, and I use, specifically in this planner, I just use the Diatramentis the Archive ink in black. And then all of the everyday planning, I use this Sailor Pro Gear Slim. This is the brown Line Friends in a medium fine nib. This is the one that I keep in my planner. I keep this one in my Delphonics pouch. So I kept another page in case I have more titles and authors and topics to write. But I just use the pencil and I mark off for title, author, and then these are all of the page numbers. And then this is just me writing down quotes that I want to remember. or come back to it a future time. And then I use these dots from Papery Planning to mark when there's a word that I did not know the definition of, and then I research it and write it down. So this is how I've commonplaced so far. And I do write in script. It just seems more natural to me when I'm doing any kind of journaling to write in script. So the rest of this book will be dedicated to commonplacing for the rest of the year. I probably won't use all of these pages, but I'd rather have this than the half year in case I do need them. In the back, I keep a couple of, I just cut these out of like a paper penguin insert that I had and hole punch them. They used to be in my ring planner, but I'm not using a ring planner anymore, but I use this as scrap paper. This is from Aloe's Creative Corner. And then this does have a back pocket. And I keep in here the bell schedule for my school, the calendar for my daughter's school, and the calendar for our school. We don't teach at the school where my daughter attends. So I think that's it. I just wanted to give everyone an update as to where I am in planning this year, and so far I'm really, really, really happy in this planner. Like I said, I can't wait to see what Catherine comes out with for next year, but I'm hoping that the format of this pretty much stays the same. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're new, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.